Hey you guys, how's it going? It's Jamie, Crafty DIY Guy. I am back and I have got another video for you guys today. I have got some Halloween DIY projects for you that I'm super excited about. I think they're super cute and a lot of fun, and I think you will like them. I'm standing outside because today is also awning removal day, and my friend is on her way over to help me with these. So we'll see how that goes. I've documented that, and we'll definitely have a video for the exterior updates that are going to be doing to my home soon. But in the meantime, enjoy this Halloween DIY. Also, if you guys are brand new to the channel, welcome. I certainly appreciate you guys. And of course, if you are one of my OGs, one of my long-term subscribers, thank you guys so much for being here, and enjoy these videos. All right, I'm gonna get started on this. I gotta go up on the roof. I don't want to go up on the roof. I'm too fat for that. All right, everyone, and for our first project, we're going to need 2 bags of gray vase fillers from Dollar Tree and also 2 bags of the white. These look like little skulls and they have glitter on them, and I thought that they were super fun. I also picked up a package of these metal words from Dollar Tree. These are the Halloween versions of these. I ended up actually not using these, but you could certainly use them still. Some Dollar Tree twine, and then also I grabbed some embroidery needles that I had on hand in my sewing kit, and then a very good sturdy pair of scissors, which I will link for you below. So the first thing I did was take my vase filler and just put it into a larger bowl just so I could easily work with it. I'm literally just opening the bags, and I don't even know why I'm filming this for you guys to watch it, but that's how you open a bag of vase filler. And then I'm going to take my embroidery needle and just start stabbing that skull. And what we're going to do is, you can see that originally I was going to tie that beware word in the middle and then just start stringing the skulls on either side of it. I think it would have been cute, but I ended up not really liking it as much as I thought. So I went ahead and just kind of untied it all and just started all over again. But it actually was not too bad to do, because once I got in the rhythm, the embroidery needle helped so much because it's so much longer than a regular needle. And as you can see, I'm just alternating the colors. And I literally just kept doing this until all 4 bags of my vase filler was gone. I would say that this was enough to go across the mantle. I probably would have grabbed 6 bags if I could have done it, or if I would have thought about it in advance. But again, 4 bags, I was pretty impressed with it. And I love the way that this looks. It's so cute. I think it's a perfect kind of glam version of Halloween. It's not quite as scary as some of the other stuff that I've made for Halloween. And it looks really, really good on my mantle. I don't know. What do you guys think? And for my next project, I'm going to use one of these monster truck kits, or this truck kit from Dollar Tree. I picked it up in the kids section. I also had one of these skulls that was left over from a previous project. This comes in like a package of 5 or 6, and this was just a straggler. And then I had this skeleton garland that I thought was super, super cute, but I'm going to actually take it apart. So the first thing we're going to do is assemble this 19-piece truck. There aren't really any instructions in it, so it's just kind of trial and error. But for the most part, I would say it's pretty easy to do. Just take your time with it, and you can see here that I put together pieces and took apart pieces. And then once it got into somewhat of a truck form, I took it outside and spray painted it black. So for the skeletons, I am going to loosen their joints up a little bit. So I'm taking my heat gun, and I'm just going to apply some heat kind of on the joints. Right here, I'm doing his knees, and then I'm going to bend it over and hold it down with my scissors until it dries into place. And then once it does dry into place, I'm going to repeat that process. Now here's my truck, the truck frame rather. I didn't spray paint all of the pieces. I wanted to keep some of them out so I could have some of that orange and that neon green color. So now I'm just kind of assembling the grill of the truck and using the little screwdriver that comes with it. I thought that that was super cute. And then I will put the wheels on. The wheels are pretty straightforward. I didn't really like the way that some of the unpainted plastic was, so I did kind of dirty it up a little bit. You can see I kind of painted the center rims and just kind of dirtied up that grill. And then I glued that plastic skull on the front of that truck to make it a real monster truck. And then this is my skeleton with his newly bent joints. And what was cool about this guy is that he just hung right onto the truck. I didn't even have to glue him down. You could certainly glue him down if you were putting him in another area, or even if your kid was going to be playing with this. So once the monster truck was set, then I wanted to add some additional creepy little elements. So I just glued some plastic spiders and my monster truck was complete. I love the way this looks on the mantle. I think it's super fun. I did go ahead and just kind of paint the inside of that wheel all the way. And again, I think this is super cute, and it's just kind of a fun way for me to, I don't know, it reminds me of childhood for some reason. And for my last project, we're going to be making a Dollar Tree wreath. I'm going to take my silver Dollar Tree wreath form. This is the 14-inch. Also, I grabbed some felt from Dollar Tree's Crafter Square that I actually ended up not using. I had some pipe cleaners that I'm going to be using, but for the pipe cleaners, you're just going to cut them in half. So I had some of these smaller ones that were left over from a previous project. Then I grabbed 3 of these skeleton ghost hangers. These are also from Dollar Tree, and I absolutely love the way that these look. I think that they're super fun, and I wanted to use that fabric for my ghostly wreath. Now for the mesh ribbon, I grabbed 6 bundles of the black mesh ribbon. I actually only ended up using 4 bundles. So if you want to make this similar wreath, you can do that with 4 bundles. And then also this ribbon that I picked up at home, it was $5.99, but it was too perfect. I had to have it. I love the way it looked, and come on, it looks perfect with those skeleton hands. Again, super, super cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is disrobe my skeletons. I'm just taking my scissors and just going to cut away that fabric and just make sure that I have some nice, clean, long pieces that I can use. And then I'm going to take all of those long pieces and just cut them into strips. So the back of the cape is a lot longer than the front of the cape, and that's totally fine. Just cut them into strips so you'll have one set of long strips, and then you'll have one set of short strips. For that kind of white gauzy tool, I ended up actually not using that and just putting it aside for another project. So here you can see I'm taking the shorter pieces and again, just kind of cutting those into strips. You can also tear these if you want to have that really kind of ragged, rugged look. But for this, I just used my scissors from Slice that I love so much, which are linked below. Then when you're done, you're going to have a bunch of piles of stuff, and you're going to have these naked skeletons. So go ahead and you're going to use literally all the parts of this. So go ahead and cut those arms off, and make sure that you have some nice long pieces left over on the skeleton itself, because you are going to use that. So when you take apart everything and you end up having all of your pieces ready to go, you're going to have a bunch of skeletons. Well, you'll have 3 skeletons. You'll have 6 little hands, and then you'll have a bunch of piles of fabric. Now, you're not quite done yet, because now you have to start working on that mesh ribbon. If you know anything about doing wreaths, you know that the mesh ribbon and creating these little bundles are kind of a pain in the booty, but that's why we do it, right? So we love it. So for my mesh ribbon, I am literally just cutting off random pieces. I'm not really even worrying about the size. I'm doing the same thing for my ribbon here, again, that I love so, so much. I actually ended up not even using this entire roll, so I'm kind of happy that I have some left over. I'm kind of purposely not using all of it, and you'll see why in a sec. So for those bundles, I'm just going to take a piece of my mesh ribbon. I'm going to take a piece of the skeleton hand ribbon, I guess we'll call it, and just kind of pinch it together, kind of like a little bow tie here. And then for the back of that, I'm going to take one of my longer pieces, and I'm going to kind of fold it over so it kind of is about the same size as the mesh ribbon there that you see, and just kind of zigzagging it back and forth, pinching it again in the middle. And then I'm going to grab a piece of my smaller ribbon also, or my smaller cape piece, we'll call it, and just kind of scrunch that up in the front. That way I've got some of that kind of gauzy cape ribbon, we'll call it, on the front, and then you've got that fun bow, and then it kind of works its way back to the darkness. So I'm just adding a pipe cleaner. Totally does not matter what color you're using for your pipe cleaners. You can use black if you want, but again, you don't see these because you end up foofing your bow up, and when you foo-foo it up the right way, all of that pipe cleaner is gone. You don't even see it. So after you have about a bazillion of these bundles, it's about 6 to 8, I would say, per section. those two center rings that you see there, those two center bars, that is where I put my mesh ribbon bundles. So as you can see here, I'm just literally spreading that pipe cleaner around and just twisting it around that those two center bars. And then you'll do this about a bazillion times and just keep working your way around. Now, for these skulls, you can see here when you fluff them, you don't even see those pipe cleaners. Trust me, you're not going to see them. Doesn't matter. So keep fooing and fluffing them up. And then you're going to take your skull, and because it's got that wire in it, you are going to be able to bend that and almost wrap that just as if you were using a bundle. But what's really cool about this is that the wire is, I guess it's not really cool, but the wire is sturdier. So you're going to have to grab a pair of pliers or something. And when you do that, this is kind of what your skull is going to look like on the wreath itself. You could tuck any of this mesh ribbon around the skull if you want to, just to kind of fill it up. I felt like I needed a little something on the end here where I put this one skull. So again, I'm just taking a plain piece of my mesh ribbon and just wrapping my pipe cleaner around that, and then just creating this fullness in the actual wreath itself. All of a sudden I can't talk. I don't know what's going on with me. Now, once you've got your skulls set up on the wreath, again, you're just wrapping those and getting those all set up. And when you do that, you're going to have 3 of these skulls. I did fill in the rest of my mesh ribbon, and then for the little skeleton hands, I just trimmed the wire that was on those completely off, added some hot glue down to the end of the hands, and then slowly just kind of worked them around. You can see that on the wreath, I chose to do kind of the black and white on one side and then the black on the other, and then pulling in the white with the hands kind of in the black. That way it looked like those little creepy hands were coming out of the black part of the wreath and taking over the entire wreath. Again, I love the way that this looks. I think it's super creepy and super fun, and I may even add some glow sticks or some Dollar Tree twinkle lights or something to it, just to make it look even a little more creepier when it is hanging on the door for Halloween.